the all-American half pounder, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato.
Singles going steady.
This is Singles Going Steady, the podcast dedicated to exploring great singles with a particular eye to the punk, new wave, and DIY eras of the last century. I'm Adrienne Madoc.
And I'm Steve McGowan. We are in a band, the Beef People, from North and South Carolina. We released a single in 1986 on our own label, Zub Records. And we are record collectors and passionate especially about the expression of pop music that is the single recording. Exploring the mystery of what makes for a great single is what propelled us to begin this podcast.
And what number are we up to now?
This is Singles Going Steady 014.
014. And who are we going steady with?
We are going to go steady with Siouxsie and the Banshees from 1983. They're a cover of the Beatles' Dear Prudence on Polydor Records. This is a non-album track. It's a pretty impressive cover, not one I would take on lightly. And let's just talk about Siouxsie for a little bit. She's pretty much the queen of punk, I would guess. A British punk anyway, right?
Right.
This was a little bit later on in their career. We're not talking about Hong Kong Garden or anything on Join Hands. They started off as being pretty much one of those bands that didn't know how to play and learned as they went along. Definitely she has the image and the voice. What would you say about Siouxsie?
I'd say those things as well.
Yes, very impressive, very imposing figure, and made some really great music. They've had some great musicians in the band. John McGough from Magazine was in the band for a long time. And this version of the band, Robert Smith of The Cure is actually playing guitar. He was in The Cure and Siouxsie and the Banshees at the same time for quite a few years. So let's go ahead and listen to their cover of the Beatles' Dear Prudence. This is Siouxsie and the Banshees.
Dear
Okay, Dear Prudence, Susie and the Banshees. They've definitely got the song. It doesn't have the picked guitar like in the Lennon version in the Beatles. It's got kind of a electro feel to it a little bit, but a lot of psychedelia, probably owing to the extra studio trickery they could use.
Yeah, well, I think that gets some of the spirit, some of the DNA from the original.
Yes, it's definitely brings it along. It's a worthy cover, I think. It's very well done, very clever. They've obviously studied the song, and they've
Atmospheric.
Yes, they've got their own interpretation of it, and her vocal is amazing. It really is, and I love the guitars on it. It's well done, well put together.
Not a dance song.
No.
Well, it may be a twirling song.
Yes, they do a little twirling in the video, I think, but nobody's really.
As do listeners.
Nobody's fruging. So this single has a very cool cover. It's kind of a pink and black, and let's have Adrian talk about it for a second.
I don't know much about the designers, although it's Dagama Design who did a lot of album and single work from everybody from Kool and the Gang to Lloyd Cole and a lot of the Susie and the Banshees covers. This particular cover has lettering in the arts and crafts style, very much like Charles Rennie Mackintosh or Roycroft. In the U.S., Dart Hunter, the elongated letters, very stylized. Quasi block cut was really where that arts and crafts came from. I don't know. I'll talk a little bit about arts and crafts, but not much. This was the big British rebellion against the machine age.
Right.
So that sort of having the artistry enter back into the touch of the artist, the being evidence of an actual sort of person behind the art, not just a machine. So it's interesting to have this throwback to this arts and crafts style on a very atmospheric artistic interpretation of a well-known song.
Yes, I think that's very well put. They are definitely doing their own kind of version of handcrafting the song, even though they're using a lot of electronic instruments, but it retains the flavor of the Beatles in the late 60s. Which would definitely be kind of an organic sound.
Yes.
The original version was just basically acoustic guitars and a little bit of electric and some drums and bass. This has got a lot more going on it, and a lot more tracking, a lot more singing. But it's true. It doesn't sound like a Kraftwerk song or anything like that.
Right.
Yes. Again, this was in between records for the Banshees. Robert Smith wasn't going to be in the band much longer. He would leave. You can't get this one on a regular LP, but it's definitely worth looking out for. We're very impressed with Susie. She's one of our faves. They put out a lot of good records, a lot of records that can be a little difficult to listen to in the earlier stages, and then later they get kind of lush and psychedelic and very tasteful.
Yes.
So
I'm the agreeer to that.
Okay, good. Glad somebody agrees with me. And
it won't last.
Yeah, I know. We this was in 1983, as I said, and we give them major props for you definitely swinging for the fences when you're covering a Beatles song, especially one like this. We read somewhere that this was a lesser known song, but that's kind of hard to believe.
I don't think anything in the Beatles catalog.
Yeah, not anything on the White Album, no. Nothing is lesser with the Beatles, except maybe Ringo stuff. But
oh, come on. Singles Going Steady is setting up some sort of blood feud with Ringo Starr. Yeah, we're talking about swinging for the fences.
Kick Ringo while you can, while he's still alive.
We love you.
All right. So Susie and the Banshees, Dear Prudence. You should check it out. Check out Susie's stuff. It's good. Do we have an idea of who would cover the cover of the cover?
The cover of the cover. That's all. That's the Russian nesting doll question. Having, like you say, swing for the fences. So who really has you've got to have chutzpah and you got to have imagination. So who suits the bill? Sort of living, dead, imaginary, fictional.
The person I can hear singing this is Elvis Costello.
Oh, yeah.
I think he'd be great at it.
As with most things.
And I would listen to Elvis sing anything, but he's definitely got the cojones to give it a try. That's for sure.
Well, talking about chutzpah and a fictional character, I was thinking, maybe Anne of Green Gables, because she's pretty plucky.
Yeah.
Maybe this one's for her. And they keep having new iterations of Anne of Green Gables.
Yes, it's like every 3 months on PBS there's a new one.
So
right?
maybe a musical version in which she takes on covers of covers.
Wow. I think you've got Broadway gold there.
Exactly. I think I'm there.
Anne of Green Gables. Girls, and jazz hands.
Group, call me.
All right. Do we have a recommendation?
Oh, I have a recommendation.
Please.
My recommendation was going to be... Oh, I forgot what my recommendation was.
All right. Well, I'll tell you mine. Last night, Adrian and I went to the Cat's Cradle back room, and we saw the new Peter Holsapple combo, which is Peter from the DBs and Will Rigby from the DBs and our friend Glenn Jones.
And from Steve Earle and Dix and,
yes,
and many other places as well.
Right. And our friend Glenn Jones, who you know.
Yeah, I know Glenn Jones.
And on the bass. And they played their first gig playing songs from Peter's brand new record on Omnivore Records. It's called Game Day.
One audience member was heard to gush, "It's the best show I've ever seen."
That's true. We heard it with our own ears. And the band was just amazing. It was great. A super tight 3-piece. They did mostly songs from the new record. I did a couple of old DB songs. They did PH Factor and Big Black Truck. And they did a Buddy Miles cover. It was awesome. Very good. Peter still got it. He can play. He can sing. Will Rigby's amazing. Glenn Jones is an awesome bass player. Highly recommend that you go see it. Peter said that they're going to try to play out a lot, so they should be in the area, North and South Carolina.
Look for them in your city, and I remember what my tip is.
Good. I thought you would by the time I was done talking.
And it's really sad because my tip is how to be lazy, and I was too lazy to remember my tip about laziness.
Well, this is a good one, kids.
Okay, my tip is when you're entering digital numbers on something like a pad on a microwave, don't think about the number as a number. Think about it sort of as a time and effort exercise. And try to touch as few keys as possible. For example, when I need to microwave something for a minute, I press either 5-5, 55 seconds, or 6-6. Sometimes not all microwaves will take a 6-6 from you. But 6-6, so 66 seconds. Sometimes I have to go to 1-1-1, so it's 1 minute and 11 seconds.
Have you tried 666?
It's the number of microwaving a beast.
So 1-1 instead of 10.
Yeah, 1-1 for 10, right?
Wow.
Because
you really are lazy.
I'm efficient. I'm
Okay.
efficient. I'm efficient where it doesn't matter.
All right. Okay. I get it. 6-6. Yeah, that might scramble a microwave's brain.
Yeah, sometimes they're like, it does not compute because, it can't go
Right.
above a 5 in that digit.
Then they'll close the pod doors and it's all over,
exactly,
right?
Yeah. It's, sorry, Dave, I can't give you 6-6.
As long as the microwave doesn't start singing Daisy, we're okay. Okay, so big fun with Susie and the Banshees and her microwave. And Dear Prudence, check it out. Good song. Excellent band. And this has been Singles Going Steady, number 14014. And until next time, we will talk to you later.
And only hit as few keys as you can.
To learn more about the artists and recordings we just talked about, visit our website at zubrecords.com and click on the Singles Going Steady icon.
You'll also find links to the persons, places, and things we recommend, and much more.
You can find episodes of Singles Going Steady on our website or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Singles Going Steady is brought to you by the power and majesty of Zub Records. Zub Records. Smart sounds for sharp people.